Hi, everyone. This is Jill from the North Woods, and we are on week 40. I don't know why I can't ever count the weeks properly, but I can never do it. And the other funny thing is, I noticed on my weight loss totals and how much weight I have to lose. My app, I am using Happy Scale with a Renfo scale. And for whatever reason, they seem to do some kind of a weight averaging thing. Like, I think they don't want you to be too shocked. Or like if you lose a lot of weight, it kind of cuts a few back. It's doing some kind of averaging. The real total is that I lost 1.8 pounds this week, which is good. But the funny thing is, I think I lost a pound last week. So if you average them, it's 1.4 pounds, which is what I say I normally lose. And if you take 52 pounds, which is the total, and divide it by 40 weeks, you get about that too. So it's really just in that 1.4 range, except for when my dose stops working and then suddenly the weight loss goes down drastically. We're going to talk in the future about how do you decide what the right weight is. And I'll talk a little bit about that. And so I said 72 more pounds. I think that is going to put me way too thin, to be honest with you. Part of it is that you can take, and the spoiler for the future, what your scale says is your lean body mass, and then say, I should be about 25% fat, and then multiply it out and do the math and get there that way. But we'll talk about other ways to be a little bit more accurate. But a good weight loss week, nothing exciting happened. So I'm somewhere at the worst 72 pounds to lose, but I'm really thinking that it's probably more like 60 pounds. We'll see what it is. But that puts me at the end of this year, somewhere right around the first month of next year. All I care about is like getting done with it before bird season again next year. But it's going very well. I noticed a few non-weight values is that my friend and I went bird watching this week, and we go on a couple of standard hikes that we do. And I noticed I wasn't out of breath and I was keeping up with her. And so I asked her at some point, I said, were you walking slowly for me like you usually do? Because she's a nice person. And she says, no, not really. I mean, I wasn't walking fast on purpose, but I wasn't walking slowly either. And you were keeping up. And I noticed I wasn't panting last year. We mentioned when I went camping and I went hiking, and I was kind of disappointed because I was still not great at the hiking thing because of the weight. But now, it's a whole new realm. And so it looks like I'm going to go camping again this summer. And it's going to be more towards the first week in June-ish, somewhere in that area. And so we'll see how I do then. I'm hoping for good results. But I have to tell you, I don't know if you've ever done this yourself, but if you exercise for the gym, right? So you get on some machine, a treadmill, a stair climber, an elliptical, and you do 30 minutes because you think that's what I need to do. You do great and you can lose weight and you can get better shape. But there is like this cardio capacity. And the one thing I notice is I kind of poop out after 30 minutes. And I think I really need to start going on some longer events. And it'll happen now because it's spring and I'm going hiking, and soon I'll be able to go biking. And so there will be some longer events in there. But if you train, I think, for a particular limit, you hit that limit. So I'll have to think about doing more variable training, more increased times here and there. I'm still that nerd who just, and plus I have, 4 podcasts and 3 YouTube channels. And so, yeah, I'm kind of a little overwhelmed at the moment. It'll come. And like I said, we're in summer now. Well, we're in spring now, and going into summer, it'll be much better. So what I was going to talk about today is about what do you do about the skin? I'm starting to notice, particularly on my legs and then around my gut, that the skin is getting very loose in there. It's kind of funny. When you lose a lot of weight, what happens is you sort of deflate. You're like this balloon that's just going. And so before, my stomach was firmer, I guess to say. And now it is much smaller, but it's also more jello-y. Isn't this attractive? But anyway, you start to just lose the fat from that kind of inside out. And then the other part is you always see that people complain about taking GLP1s. Oh, it takes your butt away, or it makes your thighs skinnier, or it reduces your boobs and all these other things that you have. And I'm like, that weight loss comes off in places, and part of it has to do with the genetics, and part of it has to do with, I think, the GLP-1 drug. Like I said, I noticed on GLP-1, the first time I almost lost entirely my top, waist, stomach area, chest, arms, and everything like that. And then as soon as I was as far as I could go with that, suddenly the bottom started coming off. Now this is much more even. And what I read is that this drug targets subcutaneous fat, which is found not ironically in the places where you do the injections. Your thigh, it's in your butt. I don't do my injections in the butt, but your gut. And so it targets that kind of specific fat first. And so it does seem to be doing that. And I don't know. I can't complain about people saying, well, I want it to come off here, but not over there. But weight comes off where it comes off. And this is such a godsend. I don't care where it comes off, as long as it comes off. But what happens is that you get an amount of skin there. And I've noticed that my legs are starting to get a lot of loose skin. My gut too, a little bit. I'm on the bottom of my arms as well. Again, ironically, where you do all the shots. So that makes some sense. And what do we do about that? What can we do about it? And so there are just some things to know about skin loss. And I know this from the first time I did it. Unfortunately, back then when I did it, I was 13 years younger and I had more tools to get my skin back in shape again, because we're going to talk about, first of all, why it is and what happens with it. So what causes this loose skin? And obviously weight loss. Weight loss is a big part of that. And not only that, how fast you lose weight. Can the skin start reclaiming itself as you lose weight? And if you lose weight faster than you normally do, then that loose skin gets there and then you'll have excess skin. Another part has to do with how old you are. We make collagen, and we know that from studies that basically the body makes collagen until somewhere around 25 and 30. And then at that point, the body stops making as much collagen. And collagen is what keeps our skin healthy. It keeps it sort of pumped up and firm and all that. And someone said that you lose about 1% for every year. And by the time you hit 50, not much collagen is being made at that point anymore. And what is being made, it's more fragmented. It's not working together, that kind of thing. Some people say that it's really 40 instead of 25, but whatever. Basically, age determines. And the older you get, the thinner your skin will get. Hopefully I'm not scaring you. And the slower your cells, just in general, take to renew themselves. And we see that all over the place about how much you recover after an exercise. How do you recover from an injury, that kind of thing? Everyone knows that it kind of goes down. But part of it is, too, the age. The younger you are, the better your skin is going to bounce back if you lose weight when you're younger. And that's a big part of it. Part of it, too, is how long have you been overweight? And really, skin starts getting a memory after 1 to 2 years of being stretched out. So there's different layers of the skin, and fat sort of resides in, I think, between the second and third layer, something like that. But it starts getting a memory. And so it also depends on how long you have been overweight. Again, I think it has more to do with whether it'll recover based on how old you are, but also how you treat yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, because I'm not just here to make you feel old. And other parts of it has to do with genetics. Some people have younger skin and some people have older skin. It's just has a lot to do with your parents and their genetic makeup. And I will tell you that when it comes to skin, I have amazing genetics. Now, I won't say like in the alcohol realm, I have great genetics. But when it comes to skin, we're young looking drunks or something like that. But anyway, how much sun's exposure do you get can damage the collagen and the elastin fibers in your skin. How much damage, physical damage, do you have to the skin? Is there chafing? Is there just regular old injuries where you like fell off a bike or something? I'm not going to make this gross. Like, is the skin in good shape? So that has a lot to do with it too. And then part of it is what kind of lifestyle are you living? Smoking ages the skin. Alcohol consumption ages the skin. And poor nutrition, poor sleep, poor water drinking, keeping yourself hydrated, all of that can impair the quality of your skin. On the age side of things, there's less you can do, but you can do things about your lifestyle and how much sun you get. So that's good news. And so there's things then that you can put on the skin that will help. And the first time I lost weight, like I said, was 13 years ago. People were like big into cocoa butter and The Egyptians used castor oil, but the idea is that you want to keep your skin moisturized, just in general. And so there are some really good moisturizers out there, just general lotions. The cocoa butter is perfectly fine, but aloe helps reduce inflammation and helps keep your skin firm and kind of repairs damage. So that kind of is a little bit more special. But there's great lotions out there. And so making sure that you use lotions all the time. So that is one thing I started doing. Is now I started noticing that it was coming in on my thighs and my stomach a little bit. Now I am really hitting the lotions very hard. And there are things called retinoids that's derived from vitamin A. A lot of people who had acne as teenagers used retinols in order to help treat your skin. And there's all sorts of different types of those types of things, but these vitamin A derivatives are a good choice of it. And they even make something. There's two kinds of things. They make firming cream and cellulite cream. And the firming creams are out there. And I have to say that I just tried one for the very first time, and it seems to be doing really well on my thighs. I started noticing that they're not quite as wrinkly as they used to be. And we're going to talk about like permanent fixes or temporary fixes, but it's starting to look like it's getting a little bit better. And that one had glycanolic acid in it, but a lot of people are using the hyaluronic acid. You'll see that in all these creams when you go out nowadays to Target. Costco sells a bunch of these creams, and I did buy some. It's trying to be expensive and for your face and tighten things up, and all sorts of different creams there. It will help, but those are all temporary. They're all temporary. Lanolin, cocoa butter, all the creams basically sort of give you a pumped up appearance to your face. And so it's just temporary. The hyaluronic acid is very popular. I think it does a great job. It like I said, a lot of people put it on their face. I put the glycanolic acid on my legs and my stomach from Trader Joe's. And the reason is because that face stuff is super expensive. Even at Costco, it's pricey. But the Trader Joe stuff gives you this big tube of it, and it costs $8.99. The smell is kind of a citrus smell to it. It is really strong smelling, I will tell you that. But it seems to be working pretty well on my legs, so I'm going to stick with that, and I bought a couple other tubes for it. Again, because it has that acid, but it's lower cost. These are not permanent fix. Even retinol, not a permanent fix. What you're hoping to do is increase skin cell turnover. Like I said, as you get older, your skin cells and all your cells really just don't turn over as much as they used to. But what we're trying to do is shed some of the dead skin so that we'll make new, perkier skin and give you a kind of a fresher look to it. We also hope, too, that these lotions and some of these will encourage collagen growth and production. And obviously, again, the younger you are, the more collagen you're going to produce. And that means that's going to fill in all the wrinkles. I have to tell you, and this is not what you want to say on YouTube, I noticed that in here, when I smile now, I'm starting to get wrinkles in here. And I thought, I think I got Botox by Cheetos before. All that fat was pumping out all the wrinkles in my face. And so now that's going away. I'm probably going to end up being wrinkly after all this is said and done. But what are you going to do? There are things to know primarily about retinol if you decide to go down that path, is that first of all, you have to use sunscreen. It makes you very sensitive to burning. And people who used it for acne as teenagers found that out in a hurry. You really need to watch your skin exposure. Any of the retinols or any of the strong acids, including vitamin C, can make you very exposed to the sun. Other part of it, too, is that you can take antioxidants, vitamin C. People take coenzyme Q10. I've seen that around, too. I've never used any of that. But the idea is that what it does is it causes like skin damage and inflammation to go down. So it can help in the healing process. Same thing with the two acids, the glycolic acid and the hydroxy acids. You have to be careful about sun exposure. It can increase to burning. So you got to be a little bit careful about that. Some people are into peptides. Obviously, GLP1 is a peptide. I am not sure what they do, and I'm not suggesting them, but I'm seeing more and more people are taking peptides. Those will slowly decrease inflammation, and they will also try to improve the elasticity of the skin. Like I said, I don't know. Some people feel caffeine helps because it helps constrict the blood vessels, and so that you don't have excess fluid in your face, and that it helps in the body in breaking down extra fat. And I've never heard that before, but some people have said that is true. And other people believe that shiitake mushrooms in particular, they have some kind of component that helps you increase elastin fibers in your body. I have no idea about that, but that is what I've heard other people say. One thing I found that was kind of interesting is people were saying that when you put your lotion in, that you put it in frequently and then you massage the lotion in, that the stimulation of the touch on the skin will help stimulate collagen growth, skin turnover. I think anytime you have blood going to an area, and so when you sort of rub your arm or something like that or heat it up, it kind of helps with that. Some other ways, and you're going to like this because it's all the things that we have to do for GLP-1s and weight loss in general, is exercise. Exercise is really important because, first of all, you get some muscle in there. I'm starting to see my neck again and my shoulder muscles come through. And my trainer this morning said, "Hey, I can see your arm muscles." And I noticed when I was working out, you can see my arm muscles flexing in my arms again. So muscles can help. At least you're never going to put on so much muscle that you replace the fat you used to have. What you can do is at least supplement it a little bit. Building muscle will give you more mass, and so that will take the skin out a little bit more, and maybe that'll help. I have been taking collagen, and part of it is that I am worried about two things. Well, let me say three things. I've been worried about the condition of my hair, and that's been getting better. And the collagen helps. Collagen helps with skin, but it also helps with, I believe, the joints. And I am worried that all these years of being overweight wrecked my knees. I was told, probably about a decade ago after I fell down a flight of stairs. And I had to get x-rayed because it was at work. And so there was possibly workman's comp in there. And she says, "I see arthritis starting to form in your knees." Feel like all this weight has potentially wrecked my knees. So I am taking things like collagen, like omega-3s. We're going to talk about that. Anything I can do to take things that will help your joints, I've been taking them. But they, interestingly enough, work on skin as well. So I am taking collagen, and I am been doing it probably since I started. So I started taking a whole battery of things when I started taking GLP-1s, knowing that I'm not going to get much from my food anymore. What they say that you want to look for is hydrolyzed collagen peptides or collagen hydrosate. It usually is combined with vitamin C, which is important for collagen processing. They say it takes around 10 weeks for you to start seeing any sort of results out of it. And some people feel like, it's somewhere in the 5-gram area of collagen. So I've been taking that and have considered maybe taking a little bit more. But I'm hoping that if the collagen is helpful for skin, that it could help doing that. And usually what they suggest is taking marine collagen, which means that it comes from fish materials, because it is closer to the type of collagen we have. For whatever reason, bovine collagen is not as what they call bioavailable. Your body can't use it as well as the fish collagen. But then there's like bovine type 1 and 3 that is closer to us. Okay. And bone broth is an excellent source of collagen. When I was working in the office, I used to drink bone broth for lunch because it's one of those incredibly healthy things for you. And I totally forgot about it. And I have bags of bone broth here. I should have been doing that all winter. But that is a natural form of collagen too. So you can take that as well. Having protein is important because amino acids is what increases collagen production. So having enough available protein will support your skin, will help for muscle mass, and you already know that we should be taking more protein. The next thing is, and I'm taking this as well, but for other reasons, and I'm glad to hear that it helps, is omega-3 fatty acid. It's found in fatty fish. I don't like fish, and so I'm taking a non-fishy omega-3 fatty acid pill. And again, because it helps with your heart, it helps with your joints, but it's also very good with your skin and collagen production. It helps with inflammation, which affects collagen and elastin, which are the two things that make your skin. It helps with healing, and it produces moisture. It's one of those things that when you take natural oils, instead of putting lotion on, you're sort of putting lotion in, and so that helps as well. So collagen, omega-3s itself don't build collagen directly, but it creates an environment where collagen breakdown is slower and regeneration can occur more rapidly. So I was glad to see that something I was already taking is already doing something better for me. And in fact, there was a big 2020 study that showed that omega-3 supplementation improved hydration and elasticity in aging skin just after 12 weeks. So again, we're at that sort of 10, 12 week area. Some of the pills come with omega-6, and you have to be careful. You should look for EPA, DHA on the label, not just fish oil, and somewhere around 500 to 1,000 milligrams of it per day. Talk to your doctor and look for things. I am not a vitamin expert, but these are the kinds of things I'm doing right now. Vitamin C, which again comes with collagen, also is helpful for the elastin fibers to not weaken and to stick around. And so that makes it easier for your skin to get better. And you can eat that, right? Citrus and the different kinds of peppers have that. Broccoli, there's a lot of things that have it. Vitamin E is another good vitamin. I'm getting that in my daily vitamin. And that also helps from just what they call oxidative stress in the world around you. And you can get that from avocados and spinach and nuts and seeds. Vitamin A is really good for healthy skin, cell turnover, and regeneration. Carrots, sweet potatoes, leafy greens. Zinc is helpful for your skin and protecting it against from sun damage. And sun damage, again, causes elastin fibers to break down, so you want to keep those around. And selenium is another antioxidant that they talk about. And again, I am taking a multivitamin every day to get in most of everything there. But Brazil nuts, you get one Brazil nut and you get all the selenium you need, but seafood and red beets, so that's part of it too. And that's what I'm trying right now. That's what I'm trying. And I'm also trying not, again, I could starve myself on this diet and drop a ton of weight very quickly. But another one of the reasons why I decided I didn't want to do that and I wanted to take this more slowly is because I don't want to shock the skin. I want to give it time. I decided I would just rather, and I know I had the luxury of being on this from my doctor, be on this a little bit longer because I sort of did the math on all of it. And if I can help my skin stay in good shape while at the same time losing weight and instead spend a year and a half doing this instead of a year doing this and then having a lot of loose skin around, I decided that was worth it. But some people go the direction of other things. There's laser treatment, there's ultrasound, there's RF, which radio frequency kinds of things that people will do. I don't know if they work. That's what they try to get to, again, to stimulate the collagen production again. But I know a lot of people choose to do surgery, and they decide to go down that route. I don't believe that I would do that at this point. I don't know just how much infections can happen. I'm just not a surgery person. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm just not a surgery person. And so I think that if I had loose skin, I would just deal with it, lotion, and just hope that it goes back. And if it doesn't go back, it's just a part of me. And that's the last way, is that people just say, you know what? This is kind of my battle scars in life. I'm just going to live with it, and that's okay. You still look great in jeans and a t-shirt, and you still can go out there and go running and everything else like that. Insurance companies typically won't cover anything unless it is some sort of danger to you. I know that some people who have lost a tremendous amount of weight, they can get infections and a bacteria. I mean, it's gross, but things in their skin. And so then they will treat because it's just too much skin and it's too dangerous for them. But for the most part, insurance companies won't cover skin kind of recovery things. So I'm not really going with the surgery. I'm not looking to do that, but I'm going to keep working on this whole nutrition. Did I mention hydration? Hydration. That's the last piece of all of this. Drinking a lot of water. If you drink a lot of water, keep yourself really hydrated. That keeps your skin hydrated as well. So the most you can do from the inside of you is going to help you on the outside of you too. So keeping hydrated. And I got myself a brand new 40-ounce Awala bottle. Isn't that tremendous? So part of this, like I said, is part of just my things that I'm doing for GLP1. Taking vitamins, taking omega fatty acids, taking a general vitamin, and drinking lots of water and getting lots of protein and exercising and lifting weights. Part of this is then the specialty lotions, and can you keep your skin kind of moisturized, encourage growth in it. And then the last part of it, like I said, is just not damaging any further. Getting a good amount of sleep. Sleep is when we heal. Not smoking, not going out in the sun unprotected, not damaging our skin in the ways that sometimes people damage our skin. There you go. That's what I'm trying. That's my plan. I hope you enjoyed this. Please remember that you can always email me at jill@startwithsmallsteps.com. I have other podcasts. The Start With Small Steps podcast is right here on YouTube. Used to be a book podcast. Right now for this year, I'm doing kind of like a life goals kind of thing. I also have the Bible in Small Steps where I go through the Bible 3 times a week, a chapter, an episode. I wanted to do a slow roll and just learn every piece of it, understand every bit of it. And that's what we're doing. And most episodes are somewhere in the 15 to 20 minutes range. And then I have the podcast Buzz, Blossom, and Squeak, which is all about nature, but not from a deep science point of view. But what can I learn by just going outside my front door? Why is that frog green? What does he do in winter? Why did the lake make that weird creaking noise? Or what's the deal with bees? Anything you have right outside your door, that's what I talk about. And again, it's somewhere in the 15 to 20 minute range. I hope you enjoy it. Please have a great week.